You know, Sonic Lost World is a game that I myself really enjoy. It has great parkour or mechanics that I wish could still be used in future Sonic games. It has one of the best spin dashes in the series if you use it right, and it's really satisfying once you get the hang of it. But that doesn't mean it's not without its share of flaws. When it comes to plagiarizing level designs, the annoying bosses, and mainly just bad,
Hey! I've been looking for you, Baldy McNose hair!
I feel like we can all agree that the worst part of this game is the story. Boring villains, horrible jokes, childish dialogue, probably more than Sonic Colors of all things. Not hating on Colors all in a way, I really love that game. Colors Ultimate ruined it though. But the thing I hate the most about the story of this game is Miles Tails per hour. Meta Era Tails is the worst adaptation of the character ever to be seen on screen, and Lost World is no exception. He's just an annoying little boy who gets jealous for no reason and barely does anything, and an arrogant little douchebag whose character from the adventure games goes down the drain. But perhaps some of you guys are thinking, wow, he really does hate this version of Tails. What does that make him so bad? Allow me to tell you, uncultured swine. There are a number of factors into why I hate this rendition of the character, and why I think other versions have been done better. Starting with... Tails doesn't do much in this story, especially since during the second half of the game, he's kidnapped by the Deadly Six. Other than getting the tornado working and following around Sonic and Eggman, and tracking animals, it's never really clear what exactly Tails does in this game. You wanna know why? Because he's mostly overshadowed by Eggman. And it's pretty clear that the writers took more time focusing on Eggman and Sonic, but at the cost of leaving Tails in the dust. But even so, they don't explore much of the dynamic between them, leaving you wondering why they even bother. Other than trying to fix Cubot from being screwy, Tails is just kinda there until he saves Sonic. And the last batch of cutscenes either way. This was also kind of a problem with Sonic Colors as well. But the difference between that game and Lost World is that Tails had more cutscenes to interact with Sonic and communicate with the Wisp, and figure out what exactly Eggman is doing, and also tracking down the Wisp generators as well. It's not as much as he was doing in games like Adventure 1 and 2, because he was a playable character in those games, but he wasn't a... But I think you have a good idea of what I'm saying. If Sega was going to add Tails to the main narrative of the game, but just have Sonic be the playable character on top of Tails not doing jack, then don't even bother. Tails is extremely annoying in this game. On top of not doing squat in this game, he's just an annoying little asshole. And this shows the most during that one cutscene in the game, with Tails being mad at Sonic. Now this personally I actually don't mind. This could have been the opportunity to finally call out Sonic for the stupid stunt he did earlier. And that's something we can talk about in another video. Eggman is naturally angry at Sonic, but Sonic doesn't care. Because, oh, it's Eggman, we don't care. But if we got a chance to see Tails yell at Sonic for a stunt, and have them argue, it would humble Sonic, and actually have a reason for Tails to lash out at him. And have a chance for Sonic to grow. But no! Tails is so mad at Sonic because Eggman is getting more screen time than him and claiming that Sonic trusts Eggman more than him. The reason as to why this does not work is that Tails should not be so in his feelings over working with Eggman because the whole cast at the time literally teams up with Eggman to stop certain death in Adventure 2. They are literally in the same situation right now, but Tails is more concerned about his friend being in with Eggman than actually trying to help out, which makes him seem like a spoiled little 5-year-old that didn't get his way, and now is being pouty about it. It's like Tails is always trying to one-up Eggman in this game, which is a fun concept, but I feel like it should be Eggman that should be throwing the nasty one-liners towards Tails, because Eggman is written to be an arrogant and bitter character, so it works. But swapping it around poses it as Tails being the arrogant one, therefore being seen as a jerk. Speaking of which, the relationship between Tails and Eggman had extremely missed potential in the game. We could have explored more of the dynamic between the three main characters, other than just calling Eggman a loser or something. I understand this is a natural thing for Sonic and Tails to do, But with this game specifically, just like what Matt had no cut said, we could explore more of the dynamic between the characters. We can learn why Sonic keeps trying and failing to take Sonic down, or why Sonic doesn't just straight up kill Eggman. And we could have gotten a cutscene with just Tails and Eggman just talking. And you could have directly made it after the cutscene where Eggman saved Tails if you wanted to. It could be a break from Tails just being a great asshole. Now, I'm sure some of you guys are saying, well, Emerald, if you keep talking shit about Tails, then tell us how you write it. Well, I'm glad you suggested that, dear viewer. Okay, let's see. 1. I'd put him in more cutscenes, or at least make him a playable character that showed he was actually doing something, other than just saying a few words of dialogue. It would give a chance to explore what Tails is up to in the story, rather than just being confined to Orbot or Cubot. Number 2. Not having him act like an immature child out of nowhere. If the writers really wanted to have him angry towards Eggman, have Eggman do something to try to get the team in trouble. And when they're safe, then have Tails lash out at them. Because it would make sense for Tails to lose very slim trust in Eggman, and tell Sonic that it's a bad idea. Having Tails say that Sonic trusts Eggman and more is extremely out of character, because not only is there barely any cutscenes where Sonic shuns away Tails for Eggman, but also, Tails out of anyone should know that Eggman is the last person Sonic would want to team up with. But they don't have a choice because Eggman knows how to restore the planet's energy. And number 3, this doesn't mainly highlight his character, but I would like to see Tails actually temporarily become a robot. We have never seen the duo actually fight before, at least in the video games before, and it could be an interesting thing for the community to talk about. Because at this point in the game, Sonic's confidence is shattered. He had just lost his best friend, after he had saved him from being trapped by the Deadly Six. Everything he knows about the planet is gone, and all that's left is an empty void with no life. Sonic is all alone. And when he runs into the rest of the Deadly Six, when he finds out his best friend has been roboticized, we could have seen things come out of Sonic that has never come out of before. We could have gotten a chance to see confusion, anger, and sadness over what the Deadly Six have done. Again, it's not specifically going towards Tails, I'm just saying we missed a great opportunity here. Now, let me tell you something. I do not hate Tails in the slightest. Because there was a time in the 2000s where Tails was so inspirational. A kid that just so happened to run into a guy that would change his life forever and has no idea of it yet. Team up with him and make new friends and go on so many different adventures, and mature to not rely on him and become more independent, and proves himself time and time again. If there's one thing that you can get from this as Tails as a character, is that independence and bravery is one of the key components to Tails as a character. Tails is not an arrogant and annoying little asshole that gets easily jealous, and I really hope Tails doesn't get treated this way again. With Frontiers and Dream Team trying to fix him back to the way he was, I hope that the character can just rise up to where he was 20 years ago, and not from 10 years ago. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do all the YouTube stuff for the algorithm and stuff. I might do a Fantastic Four video next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead. Dead like if I can guarantee Henry would be okay. I'd hope you get an illness and then get hit by a car and die.